the long-anticipated spotlight review on the Transformers Studio Series 86, number 4 of this subline. It's the Voyager class Autobot Hot Rod, which, you know, everybody has said, Voyager class? Really? Yeah, we're going to get to that in just a moment. I'm one of those as well. But anyway, let's take a look at the packaging to kick things off here. It's your standard Studio Series packaging, except in seeing like CGI, computerized images of Michael Bay Transformers, or even Travis Knight at this point. We get actual cartoon robots on the packaging. So here's Hot Rod lighting our darkest hour from the Transformers the movie, the animated movie back in 1986. Again, hence 86. Number 4 of this subline series. Studio Series Autobot Hot Rod, Autobot logo, ages 8 plus, Hasbro's logo, Transformers going up to the Misaligned Generations logo at the top right corner with Takara Tomy beside it on this side of the packaging to differentiate, if that's even a word, to make it different from the standard Studio Series. Instead of an Autobot symbol peeking out of this open window side packaging, it's now just the number 86, which is it's creative. It's very cool. I like that. Anyway, we've got Hot Rod here. Once again, that same picture of him lighting our darkest hour. And we've got the authentic Transformers logo to remind you, if it doesn't say authentic, it's a knockoff. On this side of the packaging, we have Hot Rod up close in your face with Studio Series 86 number 4. Down here, Voyager class. See? Voyager class. Yeah. On the back of the packaging, we've got the promotional image of the figure from his vehicle form to his robot form, 29 steps of transformation. Get a little bit of some detail up here about the big screen inspired scale, detail, and backdrop, all that kind of stuff. And of course, the backdrop that the figure comes with is actually the depths of Unicron, as it says right there. And that's about it for the packaging. There's not much else to really show off here, except I'm gonna do something I've never done before, as far as I know from doing all these Studio Series reviews in the past. I'm gonna go ahead and get this out of the way. Here is the backdrop, the depths of Unicron, which is a nice recreation. I don't know if this is just a photo taking from the actual movie itself, or if this is just a recreation of this. You know, if somebody actually did draw this up for the backdrop, I don't know. Maybe somebody does, but I don't. Anyway, yeah, let's go through this real quickly. We got the Misaligned Generations logo right here. We've got the Transformers the movie, the authentic Transformers logo. We've got Transformers 86 right here. On this side, we've got 86 again, Studio Series, and half an Autobot logo. Pretty cool. Let's go ahead and put Hot Rod on here, even though it's not him in his robot form where he's holding the Matrix, which, spoiler alert, he does actually come with. But I'm sure you've seen that from other reviewers at this point, so you're not really missing much here on this video. Anyway, pretty cool, but I really don't care about these backdrops, okay? They don't benefit from me one bit. If anything, they're the reason why we're paying a lot more. Good artwork. I really do appreciate it, okay? I'm sure this is something that whoever designed this should be very proud of, but as it is, it's just filler. That's all it is, just filler. If we could have saved a little money on this guy, because he is a very expensive, no offense, deluxe size action figure here, oh man, that would have been so much better than the backdrop. You know, anyway, he does come with a set of instructions, which for some reason in the last couple of Spotlight reviews I forget to show off here, but yeah, it's pretty good for what it is. It's your standard Studio Series kind of instructions here, where you got the highlights in the background, whether it's red for Autobots or purple for Decepticons, and then everything else is black and white except for what's actually being transformed step by step, that kind of thing, which is okay. You know, it's pretty good. And from grading exactly how well the instructions are with what I've gone about transforming time and time again, I gotta say, they pretty much nailed it. They missed a few things, but maybe that's something I can assist you guys with anyway. With that said, here he is in his car mode, which you should know. It's a very sleek sports car, very futuristic, nice. It's got the piping as it should. It's, you know, it's Hot Rod the way Hot Rod should be. Pretty cool. It's not Rodimus Prime, it's Hot Rod, and yes, I already have his guns all set up here on his engine block, just showcasing it right away because I'm not going to do this ever again. Because of the way that these have to connect on the side here, it may be stripping the paint over time. So you might want to be careful with how much you actually do this. And to showcase it right away, there is a couple of ports up here where you can tab them in. Once again, on their side where the silver paint is probably getting scraped up. But it is something you can do. This is where you would actually put him on his back in robot mode for storage. Now that that's cleared and out of the way, let's never do that again. Well, we've got some flame effects here, which we can power up his vehicle form, I guess. You know, make it look like he's going faster. Yeah, pretty cool. I like that. And they do actually hold in pretty securely. They're made out of that translucent gummy rubber kind of plastic, which means they are very flexible and you don't have to worry about them breaking over time. But yeah, there you go. See, both are applied. They hold pretty good. And he rolls like a dream. There's plenty of clearance down here. I mean, there's like such a gap down here that you can see a good portion of my finger is up in there. So there's a lot of space down there. Just not enough space for storing his other accessories that he comes with, like a piece of cutter. Okay, this is that spinning disc that he used against that tentacle monster from that one scene in the movie where he's saving Cup's life. And there's another accessory for that certain scene, which we'll get to in his robot form. I'm sure you know what that is by this point. The other accessory he comes with, outside of that, is the Matrix of Leadership, so he can light our darkest hour. And as you can see, I think the blue jewel here, I'm not so sure if it's a jewel, maybe it's a spark, maybe it's just the light for the darkening. But you can see it's a pretty bright blue. Unfortunately, I don't remember where I put the matrix for my leader class Optimus Prime from Earthrise, so I can't show you a side-by-side comparisons, but I do believe this is a much brighter blue. That's the real difference here. But they are the same matrix, which has already been confirmed plenty of times. But this matrix comes with a special energy blast effect, which is supposed to be it, you guessing, lighting our darkest hour, which, you know, it clips in pretty securely. It takes a little doing, but once you got it in there, I mean, it's really in there. And look at how it's shining right now just on camera. And there's hardly any light in this area here. So I'm surprised that it's actually popping on screen at this moment. Look at that. You can still see the jewel. That is so cool. Yeah, I love this. This is nice. And we'll do a side-by-side comparisons real quickly with a leader class Transformer figure. This is the alternate universe Optimus Prime. I believe it was an Amazon exclusive. So anyway, there you go. A leader class compared to a deluxe class. Yeah, I know this is supposed to be like a Voyager with a trailer that makes him leader class, and this is supposed to be a deluxe figure with loads of accessories, which makes him Voyager class. Let's do this. Okay, so to make things real simple, the first thing that you want to do is you want to pop open the engine block, the front of the car, and fold it down. Then you want to take the headlights and you want to flip them in. Now that that's taken care of, the easiest part to getting this to separate, because this can be a trick, what you want to do is push down on this elbow joint, and once you do, that should untap all of this section. Repeat the same process on this side and we're pretty much done at that point. So we'll go ahead and rotate these up like so, and then we'll go ahead and flip out those red panel pieces that were on the top in the car mode, and we're going to rotate this around. You see that circle? It's going to go into that port right there. We'll go ahead and plug that in. Do the same thing on this side. Plug it in, and there we have his arms. With that completed, what we do now is we separate the legs. So what we need to do is we need to pry from the side here, because this does tab in here and here, making a strong connection. And you could run the risk of snapping this over time if you pull down. Do not pull down, pull from the side. Once you do, it should free everything up a lot easier, like so. Now that that's done, we'll go ahead and flip up the wings, like so. so that we got clearance here to untab the wheels, just so that's out of the way. And then we'll split the legs apart a little bit more, so we got room here to flip this around, so we can bring down this portion, which is his shins, and then we'll flip out his foot, come over here, and we will separate this half, bringing the wheel and the pipe in side, and then we will fold this once again. There's a tab that's going to clip into place, securing that in, locking it very nicely, and that's a foot or a leg. Let's go ahead and repeat the same process on this side. Split it out just a little bit more so we got clearance to flip out his shin, flip out his foot, turn it around so you can see this, untab the wheel, bring it in, and then fold this entire section in. And this one does not like to snap together. You know, maybe a little dab of super glue might thicken that up and keep it in place, but as it is, it holds just fine, just as long as I'm not touching it. So with that said, we will go ahead now and rotate the entire waist section. And then what we can do is open up his backpack like so. And once this is raised like this, we will go ahead and rotate this around. Then we'll come in here and flip out his head. And then we will rotate it like so. And then we'll take the engine block and fold it in until it clips into place. And then we'll take this entire section here and fold this in as we get it past his head. Sometimes it does hit that tab. And once that's in like so, we will take this entire section and bring it up. 2 tabs go into 2 slots. And we'll go ahead and clip those in as it should tab in. It should tab in. I'm not sure why I'm not hearing any clipping. There we go. Now that that's done, what we need to do now is come back here and rotate the wings, and then we'll fold it up on a double hinge. There's a tab right there, and there's the slot for it. We'll go ahead and clip that into place, and it should clip into place. There we go. Right, last thing we need to do is just basically readjust everything to your liking, and here we go. Here is Studio Series 86 Autobot Hot Rod in his accurate robot form from the movie. And I say accurate because I think this is as accurate as it's ever come for any Hot Rod figure, which is supposed to be based off of its Generation 1 design, whether that's the animated movie or Season 3 and 4 of the Transformers, which is still the same design. But regardless, I've never seen anything this good before. Not even the Masterpiece could pull this off, and that figure's way bigger. Way bigger. Technology has advanced, the transformation has advanced, the engineering is so much more advanced. I know, I get it. To be fair, for its time, it was a really good Masterpiece figure, which I never owned because I can't afford them. And you know, the best thing about this is that this is the alternate route right here. For those who can't afford Masterpieces, there you go. Your dream has finally become a reality thanks to Hasbro and Takara Tomy making the Studio Series what it was meant to be, which is screen accurate designs with Foley articulation and lots of accessories, a backdrop, which, you know, I don't care about, but I'm sure somebody does. So, you know, you do get a lot of bang for your buck. For this figure being basically a deluxe size figure, it really does make up with it for everything that comes a moment here. But first I want to show off everything about this figure because it's just so good. Yes, it's not perfect, okay? It's never going to be perfect if it's got transformed. Your better chances of getting a true to Generation 1 accurate design of Hot Rod in action figure form would be the Red Series. That's as far as it's going to go. As it is, the only thing that I really see that could be an issue to people is just these panels here. Obviously, this isn't what his legs are supposed to look like in the back, but for a figure that is so compact, so small that it has to transform and it has to look good, it has to look presentable, I can forgive this because it really isn't that much of an eyesore. It just isn't. It's not an eyesore at all. This is well engineered. This is black magic in my opinion. Oh my god, the head sculpt. I mean, I'm just looking at Hot Rod. He jumped off the screen. He's in the palm of my hands, and I love the guy. He also has another feature, which I haven't showcased just yet, but I'm going to now. Flip up his headpiece here. Yes, you can actually flip out if you got fingernails, of course. Flip out a visor. Yeah. The one scene in the movie where he's looking at the Autobot shuttle, which was overtaken by the Decepticons. There it is. That's so awesome. It's a nice option, but you know, I prefer him without his visor. He just looks a lot better without it. Anyway, he does have other features. Like I mentioned, he does have one more coming from that scene where he's fighting the squid monster, and once that's all said and done, and he's got to put Cup back together. There you go. We got the welding tool, which is, you know, it's okay. It doesn't have that much detail on it. I'm not expecting that at all, but for what it is, it's a nice touch, right? I mean, it's like Hot Rod's got just about everything that he had from the movie as a part of this figure, which does make up the price point. He has another accessory, well, kind of. I mean, you can flip this hand in, and then we got this plug here, where you can actually take, of course, the disc, and you can kind of push that in. Don't push it in all the way. It is very tight, and it's going to be very difficult to remove if you do, but you do have now Hot Rod wielding that disc slicing thing that, you know, he used in the movie, which is pretty cool. It's just not free spinning, which I'm fine with, because, I mean, what's that going to do, really, anyway? Now we're going to get to the best part about this figure. Yeah, besides the design of it, how about the articulation? Because there's a lot going on for this little guy. We have a ball joint at the head, a hinge joint at the neck. We've got a pivoting joint here. We've got a swivel at the shoulder. We've got a butterfly joint. A butterfly joint, which you can get this figure to actually cross his arms. I've done it already in some photos. We have a bicep swivel cut. We've got single jointed elbows that gets more than 90 degrees of bend. We've got wrist rotation. We've got finger articulation, a swivel cut at the waist section. We've got leg articulation. You get that much kicking forward. And of course, this piece gets out of the way, which looks natural. Good. We got that much going back. We got the full JCVD split. We got the thigh swivel cut. We've got double jointed knees due to transformation. We've got a hinge joint for up and down movement at the feet. And we also have lovely ankle rocker movement, which means this figure is packing in articulation. Let's go ahead and arm him up some. Now we have options. We can take our flame effects pieces that we use for the car, and we can slap them on to the forearm blasters, if that's what you want to call them. And yeah, now we got blast effects for him if he's attacking Galvatron at the end of the film. Right, so there's that. Pretty cool. But what I like to do is give him his blasters, which I'm going to have to go back and look at the movie. It's been years since I've seen it, but I don't recall if he ever really used his blasters in the movie. I know he used them in the Generation 1 cartoon, and they were a lot bigger because he was Rodimus Prime, but for what they are, man, the fact that he's packing some heat here, and this is something I haven't actually tried yet with these blasters. Can they actually hold the blast effect pieces? They can? Really? Wow. That's impressive. But sadly, there's no storage for his piece of cutter here, as I'm going to call it, and the Matrix. I mean, you can get him to hold it. That's why he's got the hand articulation, which, you know, I've seen a lot of photos where people have him pose where he's lighting the darkest hour. But instead, what I'm going to do is something that I discovered not that long ago. Well, I didn't discover it. Somebody on YouTube did. And I'm taking no credit from the guy. And this is amazing. He actually found, by accident, a place that you can store the Matrix of Leadership inside Hot Rod. And yes, it is in the compartment where you would expect it to be, like in the cartoon. You open up his back, and believe it or not, this part here actually has enough clearance that if you carefully slide the Matrix in, and it's laying flat like that, you can actually close this back up. You can hear it click into place. So it says, there we go, and yes, now he's stored away the Matrix inside of him, and he should be growing now. He should become Rodimus Prime. But this is a figure, okay? This is a toy. This isn't something that can mass shift, so it's not gonna happen anytime soon. How about I show the alive version of Optimus Prime, the two leaders side by side, or soon to be leader once he croaks. But other than that, I mean, there you go, guys. You can see this is a leader slash Voyager figure. Again, all the parts that he comes with is what makes him count as a leader class. But yeah, he's basically a Voyager. This is basically a deluxe. But side by side, they're the perfect size. This is a fantastic figure. I love it. You know, for the price point, it is a bit of a pill to swallow. But swallow it you will, because you will enjoy this figure as much as I do. I love him. It's perfect. Look at how I mean, so good. I mean, just look at that. Look at that backpack. It's not really a backpack at all. And the fact that his wings are actually showing in the proper area that they're supposed to be, which is something that's usually a miss on Transformer figures for Hot Rod, it's perfect. The Studio Series is all about accuracy as far as it can go, right? Well, this one nails it. This is a really good one, and it's coming from the animated film back in 1986. It's the Generation 1 Hot Rod we've always wanted. Here it is at long last, and I don't think it's going to get any better than this. Taking nothing away from the masterpiece, but I think this is as far as we're going to go for quite a while now. Now, if I have one nitpick about this figure, it's the yellow pieces that they are using, especially in the vehicle form. That yellow connector that you can kind of seriously want to know why that eyesore is actually on top of the car in this vehicle form. I want to know whose idea that was so I can hunt you down and ask you face to face why. Why did you make that decision? Was it a cost-cutting measure? I don't think so. You already have the color of the plastic that you could have used for that one piece. Why? Why did you break up the car mode with that one horrible design? That's the only thing I'm taking away from this figure. Other than that, it's fantastic. Pick it up if you can find it in stores, and if not, order him online. Either way, you will not regret your decision. This is a fantastic figure to own. So, questions or comments, you know to do. Hit it down below in the comment section of the video. If you like today's Spotlight review, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to give me a sub up. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down. Don't forget to throw in the towel. And until then, this is Red as Power signing off, saying very well, so long, goodbye, and get out. Thanks for watching. See you next time.